Alright, but
How's Lukaku doing?
Lukaku,
Mm.
what do you mean? How's he doing?
I'm asking how has he been, man?
He's good. He's ready. He's prepared.
Yeah, no, he's a killer.
Oh, he's ready.
Just to clarify, you do know Haaland is injured, yeah?
Is Haaland injured?
Yeah, he didn't
Swear.
play the week before, yeah, because of injury.
Oh.
So he's out. But everyone else is fit, I think.
Alright,
Oh, Lukaku's ready.
that's depressing. Show me who's gonna come in.
But it's for you to be checking and knowing who's available and fit.
Maybe you come here so you can do Bob in the
No, he'll pick up. Don't worry.
because I can't hear it when you're talking.
He shouldn't talk when Bob's talking.
Alright, so what are we doing? So what are we doing interviews then, or what?
Yeah, but we've got a few questions actually for both clubs before this showpiece final.
Right.
Alright.
Is there anything anybody wants to do before we get into these interviews?
I'm just gonna tweet my team.
I want to finish the interviews before 7, just so I can make sure everything is intact. So let's just get on the interviews, man.
Alright, yeah.
Okay, but what about Inter? And hear them whispering in the background.
I'm just tweeting my team, so you can fire me some questions. I'll be able to answer.
I can't even get on the internet right now, so I'm finding it hard to tweet the team.
Alright, so everybody's got struggles ahead of this contest, which gives me a chance to talk, and you know I like talking. So, what we want to start with, you said the Lukaku's ready, but are you ready because you didn't even know that one of your main men were injured? That's if, of course, he is injured. So are you really ready for this showpiece? This whole season, Inter, you've gone unbeaten. The only question mark is Zebra, who you drew with. I don't know if you drew with any other team or dropped points against any other human player this season. So are you ready to answer this question mark?
To be honest, Bob, we'll hold our hands up and say we didn't know about Haaland's injury. Obviously, he was in at the training ground and saying he was fit, but obviously that's not the case. But as for you mentioning how we dropped points against Zebra this season, I believe it was a 2-2 draw, and it was a very tough game. Obviously, Zebra, you know, they're a great team. Well-prepared team and have good tactics, and they know how to beat teams. So we're ready. We kind of have an inkling as towards how Zebra play, or we definitely do the last time they played. But we have to be ready for that to change, because we know they like to change their tactics and cater for the situation of the game. So we'll be prepared for anything tonight.
Okay, so in answer to the question, you believe you're prepared then? Can you confirm, is Haaland fit or not?
I don't believe Haaland is fit, no.
You don't believe? Are you prepared for the task?
Yes, Bob, we are. We're prepared.
Alright, and obviously you've said they're a top team and you've stated the reason why you believe that. But Inter said that for every opposition, and most pet managers do. So are we to be convinced? I mean, you sound very confident, if not prepared. But do you really believe this is a top final ahead of you, or do you expect to lift the trophy?
Well, Bob, of course it's going to be a tough final. For any team to even be in the final, it means they're a good team and they've got good qualities about them. And we know Zebra, you know, they've been a winner of the eFA, not eFA Cup, the Gold Cup, and they've won titles in previous seasons. So it's not going to be a pushover. That, you know, even though we've had a really good season this year, you can't take any game for granted and think that even before ball's kicked you're going to win. So we have to be prepared for anything, you know. I believe last time we played them we conceded early, and we were able to fight back. So we're going to need that same fight today from the boys.
Well said, well said. And obviously you've referenced the fact that once you get to a final in a pep, you've got to have some credentials to you. So on that note, did you see the semi-final at all? And if so, what were your thoughts on it?
The Menace Zebra semi-final you're talking about, right?
Correct.
Well, yeah, we did see that game. We seen how Zebra was getting really everything they wanted. You know, Neymar had space with the ball, and that's when he's at his most dangerous. You know, you have to cut off that space as quick as possible, otherwise Zebra are going to cause you problems. So, yeah, I think Menace, you know, didn't really pose much of a threat to Zebra on the day. So we have to come with a bit more about us and them to get a result tonight.
Well, I think that's a good, in my humble opinion, I never played ball, but I think it's a good observation, Ari Neymar. But we as neutrals, we want to see him with space, we want to see him doing his stuff, but maybe you are more prepared than you seemed initially. Zebra, have you got any responses to anything that Inter has said before we get into some questions for yourself?
Oh, well, listen, he's saying the right things. He's been the best team in the league this season, no two ways about it. Some of the other clubs have had, you know, accusations and things to throw about, but from what I can see, he's been the most consistent, the most prepared, and he was prepared because when I played him, his game management was brilliant. Because a lesser team would have, you know, just before I scored that own goal, at 0-0, he was trying to attack, and a lesser team would have got done in, and he managed to, you know, keep his head about it. So I think he's saying all the right things, and they make sense because he's proven it this season. And as far as Haaland is concerned, Haaland would have been starting today anyway. I was fully expecting to see Lukaku, even if Haaland was fit. We didn't face Lukaku last time he played us, just like he didn't face Neymar. So there's going to be different movements that both teams are making anyway. So yeah, looking forward to it.
Fair enough, fair enough. So obviously you've got some respect for InterYaNan, and probably rightly so, is based on the season they've had. But are you expecting to come away with another trophy to the Zebra name? Obviously, Inter have already claimed a trophy this season, and the prize money that comes with it, albeit we don't play for the money, but you know, they've claimed a trophy. Are you confident that they're going to come away against an unbeaten side with the silverware?
Yeah, I mean, I'm always confident when it comes to a final, when it's a one-off game. I think that's when we're at our best, to be honest, and I think history has proven that. I don't believe I've ever lost a final in the Pep. In all my 20-year history in this, I've never lost a final, so I expect that to continue. Having said that, Inter are a very, very good side. They know how to use their team. They're the best game management side in the league. So they're the sort of side you can't allow to go ahead because the game management is very good. What I will say is that as far as how we're going to approach the game, we're going to approach the game we're not going to hide anything. We're going to approach the game exactly how we always do. High intensity, making very definite decisions, and hopefully we don't score any own goals, and we score some goals. That's kind of what I will say on that front.
So, as always, we've got a level-headed but confident, prepared Zebra Rovers, proven and tested in the Pep over years. They can go back in the archives and see Zebra winning, and they'll win again at some point. It's a given. A lot of new characters have entered the Pep with a lot to say, and they found out that they can't claim silverware, they can't become champions, and it's hurt them. It's really hurt them. But you know, you're looking at two clubs, Inter's new to this what do we call it, this boys club, but they've entered. I don't know who's gonna come out on top, but we've got, like I said, a calm and quiet confidence Zebra Rovers. Do you have any responses to what you've heard from Zebra before I ask any further questions?
Well, yeah, it's we appreciate what Zebra's been saying about our club. You know, it's always good to get praise from one of the original kind of big three, I'd say, in the eFA, you know. So we're happy to have joined that group now after claiming our first bit of silverware. And yeah, we're just thankful for the praise. It shows, because I remember the first thing I said when I came into the eFA was that the most important thing is gaining the respect of other managers, and to hear that kind of stuff said about your club is always a good sign that you're doing something right. So yeah, we appreciate it.
So there seems to be a neutral respect here. That wasn't the case last year with the final that was featuring Genesis and Gully Reapers. It was very heated actually. Now, you know, this is a new day, a new final. Have you got anything to say about the previous final or either of the finalists? I mean, Genesis, who were the champions of this tournament, they were in the PEP for 10 years. And obviously the PEP is evolving, the eFA is evolving, and it's got really tough for them. Many clubs always believed that Genesis had a jelly belly, there was weakness in them. And you know, the equipment, the goals was a little bit tough to actually fit, just 3 games to go. Some would say, myself included, but I'm a sportsman. I don't believe he's a true champion. 10 years, and you won an eFA Cup that you have to replay. He was beaten, and you found the technicality, and then got the win. He was beaten, and you were playing lag, but lag doesn't count in this tournament because lag in this game, lads, there's no replay. There was claiming lag. In the end, we found out Gully Reapers had got to the game too late, illegally late. So then there was a replay, and they got their first proper trophy in 10 years. And then anybody got any thoughts on the last final and the contestants?
I might as well go first because mine will be quick. I wasn't in the league at the time, so I don't really have any comment on the last final. I did see it. As far as the contestants, you know, from my memory, that last final probably wouldn't, or that whole tournament probably wasn't as intense as the one this year. So that's all I can really say on that. You know.
Fair enough. There was a lot of lag actually in last year, and you know, this tournament served its purpose because internet connections have improved as a result. You know, Stoic City were eliminated by Gully Reapers just purely really by a laggy game. It was exciting though. But Inter, have you anything to add?
Yeah, I agree with what Zebra's come out with about how I think the standard of the teams this year has improved since last year. And obviously, due to the changes in the league, i.e. going to zero pass support and playing against teams who are on the different tiers, for example, being able to control your team without actually having to play. I believe the games have been tougher. My route to the final has definitely been tougher than how it was last year when I got to the semis. So, you know, I think it's testament to me and Zebra that we've progressed to the final this year. And as for last year, yeah, I think everything about that tournament was just a bit messy last year and wasn't really, I wouldn't say, I don't know, it was just a bit messy in my opinion, but yeah, this year's definitely improved, definitely a better tournament this year.
I think the whole league has been better.
Yeah.
The sort of level and quality has been better. Some people, I think a few people would disagree on that. I think that's mainly due to how they perform. All due respect to them.
Going to say they're all losers.
Well, listen, everyone who loses is going to have something to complain about. Do you know what I mean? And you know, at the end of the day, the proof is generally in the pudding. At the end of the season, the people who finish in the top 4 are usually the most consistent. Usually the ones who pull their sleeves up and get on with it, and the ones who don't are the ones who just collapse and disappear or complain and whine. I mean, it's as simple as that, really, isn't it?
You know, I'm not going to lie. I'm a sportsman, and I can't tell you lies. We like the mentality of Rovers, you know, straightforward. That's how my people are, straightforward about the business. obviously we've watched Inter, and it's a growing organization. We're not going to say we can only be complimentary. They're coming to the fore and beginning to show themselves as a big club. And talking of club sizes, I observed today that Zebra is the third biggest club and Inter the fourth. So some would say that you're very evenly matched in many ways. You know, Zebra, they come in and they're a big club based on the fact that they're financially powerful and very smart on the pitch. They win trophies. That combined with financial power and success in the game has allowed their club to be recognized as a big club. But Inter are very close, I think the fourth biggest in the Pep. So this is a very good final, and it's no surprise that both clubs are here on time, ready, prepared, doing the interviews. And yes, would anybody like to add or take on from there? Because I'm very excited and I'm losing my train of thought.
I just want, yeah, sorry, Inter, if I could just add. Obviously, the semi-finals. I watched Inter semi-final against. Remind me who it was.
Falcon
The
Arrows.
semi-finals with Gully Reapers and
No, the Inter semi-final was against Inter. Was it?
Falcon Arrows.
Falcon Arrows. Very, very tough semi-final. And one of those semi-finals is just like a big banana skin for a top team. You know, when you're much better. All due respect to Falcon Arrows, who did really well, but when you're expected to clean the floor with your opponent, even if they're using pass support, that makes the game difficult. And they navigated it. They got there in the end. You know what I mean? So that is a good motivational thing for a team. On our part, obviously, we played Menace. And Menace, you know, they were really up for it. I'm sure they were up for it. But you know, the reality of the situation was that there was a few messy things at the beginning, and the game really was a non-event. So even though I scored those goals and got loads of space, I wasn't even concentrating. So really, this is my first big game in this tournament. So that's what I want to say about it. This is our first big game, so we're trying to be up for it.
Fair enough. Menace has got a lot to learn. He came up against the season winner. It seemed like he was up for it from what I could hear in the interviews and all of that sort of thing, but they conceded an early penalty and then a goal shortly after, and I think that broke him. But when you're in this Pep long enough, you learn not to. You learn what it is. It's not a fun time to. I can't describe it, but you know, personally, if I was in the Pep and the settings weren't right, or somebody needed to change their controller settings, and I'm in the semi-final, I score my goals first and ask questions later.
Definitely.
And that's not me being a bad sport.
Definitely.
That's just me taking care of business.
Yeah.
You know.
What I said to Menace was, I asked him, why didn't you just go and score? Because when he was running through, I was fully expecting to score my goals afterwards. You know, I was already saying to myself, okay, we'll just get a couple, you know, and he didn't score. So I mean, look, it is what it is. He was really honourable there, and I probably would have done the same, but he didn't have to. You know.
Well, he's new and hopefully he's going to adjust and learn what it's all about. You know, they're quite a valuable. You know, they're not one of what I would say is the waste clubs. But anyway, I've talked extensively now. We've covered. Did you guys tell me about the last final, and the thoughts on it? Gully Reapers versus Genesis.
Well, the thoughts on the final again from last year?
Correct, and the
I
contestants.
think he already did, but
Yeah, I think we've already answered that one.
Okay, so then we haven't got long left till kickoff, lads.
20 minutes.
So my thing is this: we're now ready. If anybody wants to say anything or tweet their tactics, I mean, I'm just a spectator now.
Yeah, I mean, look, for us, you know, there's not really a lot we can't give away. They pretty much know how we set up. They probably watch multiple games. We have a couple of setups, so there's only a few scenarios that they'll probably have to play out. I know Inter are very much the same, give or take a tactical change here and there. But what I will say is, you know, we're confident. we have actually only lost once this year with the pad, and that was against City, when we basically were half asleep and had a kid crying next to us. And then ever since then, we haven't been defeated. The only loss we had was obviously when our dad died, and it was ironically against Inter, and we couldn't play that game. So that essentially lost us the league at that match. So now we're coming back. We have to win this game today, in the sense that we never got the chance to even challenge for the league because we were behind so early on in the season, really due to no fault of our own. So today is to prove a point that we could have won the league. But that being said, Inter definitely deserved that title. They beat everyone that they needed to beat, and they were the best team in the league this year. You know?
I feel like I'm redundant. I mean, you spoke so well and exact to the point. I can't argue. So, Inter, do you have anything to add or respond to that?
Well, with regards to this final, we're just looking to expand our trophy cabinet. You know, we've got our first taste of silverware, and I can't lie, it was sweet. So we're looking to, get more titles, and today's a great chance for that to happen. You know, like we've said, Zebra are a top team, and it's going to be very tough. So if we do end up getting the result tonight, it's going to be a great result, and we'll be very proud of the moment.
Okay, well, understood. So with like 20 minutes to go, obviously you've showed your respect, you've also showed your confidence about this big clash ahead. Can we really get into this final from clearly the two best teams this season without talking about story? No matter what anybody thinks about them, you know, they won several titles. We know that we at Easter, we revisited the Easter Bash and saw them shamelessly crumble and get the spoon. But it can't be argued that this was a legendary club, even though he's been banned several times. And he's had some unfortunate, even it turned out to be a quitter this year. But this is, without a shadow of a doubt, a legendary club. Can we go into this final without a mention for story?
Well, if I were to answer that, first of all, I would say you're right, Stoic are a legendary club as far as the league is concerned. They've won the league quite a few times. In fact, they probably won the league the most if you're going to compare everyone's league titles. As far as the cups go, they're level with me on the cups. So, you know, this is a cup tournament. And not only that, this is a cup tournament they haven't won. So really, as far as this tournament's concerned, they're not necessarily relevant. But as far as the league is concerned, yeah, legendary team. I'm not sure if they were, they were still in the league beforehand. So, you know, I don't know what would have happened if they stayed in, but they decided not to stay in. So it's just, I can't really comment on them as far as this tournament is concerned, because they made themselves ineligible, really.
Why do you think they weren't so successful in cup competitions, as you pointed out?
Oh, they were successful. You know, they were successful. I mean, look, they're, like I said, they're equal with me as far as the Champions Cup. They've got 2. I've got 2. They haven't been to as many finals as I have, but they've won the same amount. So, you know, they're relevant. They've been successful. It's just in the league they've been very successful. I think they're a long distance runner. They're not a sprinter.
Okay.
That's the way I would put it.
Okay. And Inter, do you have any thoughts on the late story?
Just to reiterate what Zebra said, you know, it's a legendary club. I think bar Alchemy winning it in the first season that I was in, they've won it every other time that I've been in the league.
That's the league, you mean? Yeah.
Yeah, the league. So, so I think, I agree with what Zebra said. I think maybe they're better in a league situation than maybe a cup situation, because I remember Alchemy beating them in the Gold Cup a few years back, and So yeah, I don't know. With Stoic, you know, I think they were one of the teams who kind of looked down on us this season. So we don't really have much to say about them. You know, it is what it is.
Why do you think they look down on you? Why would they do that? Could that be paranoia on your part?
I think him and Gully just had a bit of a issue with me this season. You know, I think a few probably to do with the games that had to get replayed. And yeah, I think him and Gully were just kind of working as a tag team this season, you know, getting at different teams, me in particular.
Grown man, are you sure they would do that?
Well, it was pretty clear to see, in my opinion, and I don't know about Zebra, but yeah, I think they were...
What would be the motive for them to do that? Such a young club is trying to make his way up. Why would these grown men do that?
To be honest, Bob, it even baffles me, so I don't know, I can't really answer that. I know for one fact though, I remember, I'm not sure if it was, yeah, it was the first season I came in, but I remember Stoic having a bit of a personal vendetta against me. Seen a few messages that he was saying when I came in. So, you know, we've always had a rivalry with Stoic. You know, it was hard to get the best of him in the league, but eventually he's had to quit, and we've lifted the league. So, you know, that's all we have to say on the Stoic matter.
Very wicked talk.
It's hard to quit. Do you have anything in your mind that you think might be the reason that they quit?
I just think it was to do with, like I said, the replaying of the games, and the rules of the eFA, which came under a lot of scrutiny this year, even though these clubs clearly signed the rules before a ball was kicked for the first time this season. So I don't know what all the talk was about, if they didn't read it properly or, you know, didn't understand it. But if they had a problem with how the league was set up, you either leave or you know, you go and speak to the people at the top who control the rules. So I don't know what the issue with Stoic was there.
So okay, you've stated your thoughts about it. Look, now they're quit and finally crumbled and fallen apart. How do you feel about that, knowing that you seem to say you had a score to settle or you had a vendetta with you? How do you feel about that, or do you feel anything at all?
Well, I hope they come back. I want to see them in the league again. You know, I think
Why?
because
They said you think they got something against you, so why?
well, with Stoic, we've never beaten them on the pad. We've had a couple draws and lost to them, so we want them to come back so we can beat them on the pad.
Oh, do you think you can beat them on the pad then?
I think if we played again this season, the form I'm in, I think I could beat Stoic. And there's times before where I drew and I just didn't have, like, my mentality against Stoic wasn't correct. Yeah, it's like that.
Some games you had against Stoic where you were clapping the utter team a few seasons ago before I left.
Yeah.
There was one game, it was all you. And then you got counted in the last minute and Messi scored you.
Yeah.
You know, you should have won that game 3 or 4-0.
Are you hoping for that Inter tonight?
I'm hoping the best Inter turns up. I'm hoping he turns up as best as he can possibly be, because he knows very well that Rovers will always turn up with the highest level of intensity. And I don't necessarily have to be at my best to win. This is the thing, you know. So yeah, I'm hoping the best Inter turns up. You know.
He wants the best Inter. He wants the best Inter.
Well,
I want the best Inter. I want the best Zebra Rovers, and I've got 10 minutes to wait to see what we're gonna get. So Bob didn't get the fireworks that he had last year.
Was there fireworks last year?
Oh, Reapers was calling Genesis a bitch.
Oh, fucking hell. At the end of the day...
But he didn't even have his thing set up properly, so in the end, we couldn't even hear what he said.
At the end of the day, we've got two teams here. I don't want to speak for Inter. But from what I see, you've got two teams here who have been in their right mind and done what they needed to do this season. So you're not going to get any angst and craziness that you got from the two that went there last year. Probably, I don't know, I'm guessing, but probably didn't necessarily have the seasons they wanted outside of the cup. So it's lucky we didn't pay for Sergio Ramos. He's down. Lucky we didn't pay for him. Anyway, he scored an own goal against you last time. Very unnecessary own goal. So it's probably best to keep him out of harm's way. Okay, I've got a few things to do. Where's my phone? A few little tactical things, little changes. Bear with me, Inter. Got beautiful. There's instructions.
I'm just gonna go check something quick.
You take your time, brother. Short pass, wide. Yes, that must change. Okay, and then cool, that's that. Let's go to captain. No, you are my captain. Long free kick taker, of course, it's you. Short free kick taker, of course, it's you. Free kick taker 2. Left corner taker. Right corner taker. Penalty kick taker as players to join attack. Let's go with you. Let's go with you. Because you've got a job to do on the big man. Wicked.
Kit clapped.
Oh,
Well, good evening to you and welcome on this most perfect evening for a game of football. Conditions are absolutely splendid and the folk of this town have come out in their droves for this match. Why wouldn't they? It is an ideal circumstance for what could be an ideal game. Everybody has been attracted to it. It has been the talk of the town. And the buses have been packed, double-decker buses lining up outside. Coaches have carried thousands of away support. Big chance! Good ball kindly.
nice. Lucky with the pass there.
It's Lewandowski. On the right now, what's on? Great run on the overlap here. Now it's Lukaku. Can he find a finish now?
Ref. What the fuck?
Allison catches it
It's
safely.
interesting animation.
That's been won straight back. Alaba goes looking. Managed to get it away. It's been paid to a promising move.
Lonky.
Manolas gets it back. Lewandowski and the shots!
What's a finish?
Jeez. How has he finished that? What?
Come on.
No space, no problem. You just cannot stop him.
Well, I think that defence there thought they were in good position and they had him where they wanted, yet somehow he's worked the scoring position when it didn't see him on. It's really crafty business, that.
Fucking hell, come on then, boys.
So, a breakthrough already. It's a bit of penetration to go with all this possession. Oh, real danger here. Gets the better of his man. Eriksson.
Oh, fuck off. What the hell?
Alaba battles to win it back. Alaba. Lewandowski. And Danovic can pick that up. Good challenge, he just stood firm. Seems now to be all about width.
Well, when you have the personnel to create in wide areas, then they need to see as much of the ball as possible.
Lozano. Oh, they could break here. Good ball. A chance! Give it a corner.
Stupid.
And that's left him on the seat of his pants. Mohamed Salah. That'll be a throw. It's Dybala. What a ball! He's had a go! Oh, nearly.
Lucky. I was lucky. It was a chance.
Nothing.
That's a
Really,
little
really
unfortunate.
poor,
We had a lot of people worried
to
there.
wake up.
Raspilicueta. Forward it goes. Dybala. Raspilicueta. Savic.
That's it. I'm done.
For a
I'm done.
throw in. Lozano. Dybala. And here's Lukaku. Just brushed off the ball there. Dybala. Lozano was alert to the possibilities, but in the end it's fruitless. And it's Salah. And it's played forward. Lewandowski. Lewandowski is over his head. Schuller takes it over to the other flank. Dybala. Savic. Lozano. Yeah, that does look a foul. Referee's given a free kick.
Jeez, come on. You actually paid on. It's a rugby advantage there. too fucking hairy, boys. Too hairy.
It's Aspilicueta. Going through. He's gone for it! Savic plays it forward. Defenders on the back foot. Lozano. He's got away.
It's not going anywhere.
Another chance from a corner. This possibly the last play of the half. Keeper's ball. The whistle goes for half. Here we are. If they go for half time, the breakthrough did indeed come in the first half. Only been that one goal. It is very, very tight. Well, they definitely won't be happy with that half. It seems to lack a bit of desire, especially going forward. It wouldn't surprise me to see a change or two.
We had the ball too much. We look at nothing. Got to defend that. Into the channels too easily.
Here we go again. Well, I'm sure the managers talk the talk, and now it's time for these players to walk the walk and deliver a rousing response to a rousing team talk.
Good strength.
Oh, that's a fine challenge. That's Dybala. Dybala!
Yes! Let's go.
Stupid stuff there.
They have pulled right back into it.
Stupid behaviour.
Looking back at that, that's how you play on the counter. Quick and decisive and ruthless with the finish. I thought it was a stunning, stunning breakaway.
Defended well and it's so stupid. Oh, well taken, man. Well taken. Third soft goal we're getting this season. My God.
That has certainly made things interesting. Yeah, for me, both sides are strong and well matched, and I think you need to be a good player to be out there right now. Marquinhos with the crossfield ball. Eriksson.
Right.
It's a free kick for that. He's going to have his name taken. Gets his head to it!
That keeps.
Oh, the keeper's done ever so well.
Lukaku simply didn't do anything wrong. He was thwarted by brilliance.
Alaba. He just whacks it away.
What happened there? Pressure on
There's no
boys.
sign here of forwards working back. They are staying upfield.
They are, Peter, and it gives them a chance to break, but it's also causing an extra defensive presence to prevent that.
Ah, bad weight.
Goalkeeper's ball. And he heaves it forward. Idris again. Tries to get it forward quickly.
Shooting.
And they've got it back as soon as they gave it away. Alaba. Now it's Neymar. He'll have a go.
Neymar clearly became one-eyed then. He just decided to force it.
Gone for a throw-in.
Stupid.
Accepts the throw. That's well read. Progress is made on the ball. Where to next? And it's Salah. It's over the line, and it is a corner.
Be smart, don't give those soft holes. This game doesn't let you header it out. I've won every single header and you just won it to them.
Did give it a fair old crack, and he'll be encouraged to step up again.
It's a chance, Salah, come on. Fuck's sake.
Casemiro. Idris again. Back, and the counter is on.
God, come on, lads. Come on, boys.
It's a good run down the left-hand side.
That's why we're playing you, mate.
Concentration levels are very good, and so is the commitment. This game could yet yield a winner.
Yeah, good line. Well done, Sula. I like that.
The assistant referee has his flag raised for offside.
Yeah, time for the game plan. The ball is knackered.
Changes on both sides, actually. 2 changes being made right now. Alex Telles. What a throw in. Driving forward in search of a late winner. Shula.
Look, this can still go either way. It might be flowing one way, but there's still time for some ebb.
Let's keep looking for it, boys.
Here's Lukaku. Marquinhos. Well, both Lewandowski is the guilty party there. The referee has shown him a yellow card.
You wonder if that that's it now, but there may be one more opportunity, Peter, for a late steal here.
Gets away from his opponents. Has a hit!
Come on. Come on, Salah.
The movement so precise, the finish sumptuous. Just when they thought they may be in at one end, they end up shipping a goal at the other, and it's all due to wonderful counter-attacking. They hardly have time to even react. There's only one word to describe that: clinical.
Let's try and get one back. Short time. Must be some water. Wow, I fucked up.
Some movement on the bench, and we are going to see a change.
Yeah, it was pretty obvious as to who was going to be taken off. His energy levels began to sag, and he was never going to last until the final whistle.
Having turned the game on its head, now can they hold out?
Well, the last moments...
Come on.
Not a lot to say. Is
thrilling, nail-biting,
good game. I think Inter were a better team overall, but the goals were very soft and they were easily avoidable. Much like the goals I conceded against them in the game we played, so it was just unlucky. I think I had my joypad on 7-0 so when I was trying to close down the man, I slide tackled, but he took the goal well.
We both wish you a very good evening.
Well, a wonderful start from yourselves. Lewandowski with an emphatic finish, top scorer in the whole eFA this season. But his work hasn't been enough to get you a trophy so far. Impact, obviously, with no 100% record, have they proven
they haven't got 100% record, but yeah, they're unbeaten.
Yeah, they're unbeaten, no defeats. Have they proven too strong for you tonight?
Yeah, I mean, their passing was better. My passing was really bad. I was giving them away the ball in situations where there was no pressure, unforced errors. So they were just more accurate with their passing. I think in the end, what told was too many unforced errors really that we didn't need to make. And Inter were there to take it, so well played to them.
Yeah, any reason for these unforced errors?
I don't know. Just like we can pass, but today we weren't under pressure and I was giving the ball away with Tony Cruz and Ericsson in midfield. Like lateral passes that I was putting in the wrong places. I don't know. Maybe it's the screen difference. I don't know. But,
we won't keep you in the one guy. I mean, league champions, eFA Cup champions, what a season. A lot of people have had a lot of things to say, but I don't think anybody's had a season like this in the history of the whole organization.
Well, it's been a great season, and fair play to Zebra, for getting all the way here and giving us a tough game. We could tell, like they said, their passing was a bit off, and ours to some extent was as well. We gave them a goal at the start, and it was given like kind of flashbacks to our last meeting where he went up early, and I did say it in the pre-match interview, we have to have fight, and we came back, and I'm proud of the boys, but that fight is what we've had all season, and I think that's what has helped us go undefeated in the league and now claim the eFA Cup.
Sorry to cut you. You've been labelled as bottlers in the past by many a club. You've come to the big stage now. The league is about quality and consistency. A cup final is about pressure, performing on the one-off occasion. You've gone behind early and come back to win against arguably the only person that has an argument for you this season. So would you say you've answered the critics now in terms of your character of being faultless?
Well, yeah, I believe these winning the league and winning the cup speaks for itself. You know, no one can really label us that anymore, and I can feel the change in myself. You know, Alchemy. I remember speaking to them. I think it was halfway through the season. And they were just saying how I was, you know, I'd changed a bit, my mentality. I was no longer like boasting after winning games. I was just going in, getting the job done. And that's what we've done today. And we've done it all season, you know. So I believe our mentality has changed. You know, we no longer see these games as really high pressure events. We were calm, collected. We went 1-0 down, but we were able to fight back. So we're really happy.
Yeah, you did well, mate. If I can get a chance, I mean, you did well. Fair play to you. You know, you took your first goal really well. The second goal, you know, was kind of, it was in the transition because we lost the ball in a silly situation. But the first goal you took well. Still had a bit of work to do after Manolas's error, who ironically scored a goal for the draw against you last time I played you.
Yeah.
I made a lot of mistakes today. Took the goal well. I think for us, we just weren't warmed up, you know. Essentially my first game today, and I could feel it when I was passing. I couldn't really get into the game. Even when I scored the goal, I was kind of hesitating to do the through ball, even though Lewandowski was fully on. You know what I mean? So for us, you know, maybe if we were able to get out of work earlier and maybe play a few games, it could have been different. But if buts and maybes, really.
Fair play. Well, Lewandowski is going to be very disappointed. On the big stage, he got one chance and just showed that he is an elite striker. I don't know if it was the first time short, but it certainly wasn't an easy chance. And he left the keeper with more chance, putting you ahead. And he'll be disappointed to leave with nothing. I think we might finish the season top scorer. He currently is the top scorer. You got any words for Lewandowski now, who might be looking to join Inter?
Yeah, you're joking. Lewandowski's not joining Inter.
But the club size is going to be considerably big now.
Yeah, that's all right. Be fine. He's going to be top scorer and top assist now, in fact.
For what?
So say that again.
For what?
Well, this is for his own accolades. Do you know what I mean? There is a Pichichi award, which I'm assuming he's going to win. He's won it before anyway, and he's top assists, and he's done well. And the team's done well. I think, you know, we came second in the league. Didn't get it today. It's the first final we've ever lost, so Inter can be happy about that. Lewandowski's won many awards with us, so you know he scored in many finals for us. So, you know, we'll have to come again, but Inter deserved it. They played really well. They passed better than us. I do think, you know, both their goals were very soft. Well, the second one wasn't. They had to work. But the first one was just didn't need to happen. We made a stupid error that cost us it ultimately. But, you know, overall played a better team on the pitch. And, you know, we really are happy with the way the boys have performed this season. It has to be said. You know, I'm usually very disappointed after defeats, but Inter was a better team, so we're actually more disappointed that we came across London to lose, more than losing, because I think Inter played well. So,
Fair play. So is that the season finished for there, Braden?
No, it's not, because we've got the Champions Cup, which, you know, obviously currently we are the greatest team in the history of the Champions Cup, as it stands. You know, and we want to try and carry on that glorious history in that cup. You know, obviously we haven't won anything yet, so now we have to aim for that.
Well, rumour has it that the first leg of the Champions Cup may be on the 29th.
Yeah.
What do you think of that? And are you prepared? Because it seems you weren't fully prepared for this event.
Well, you know what? We were mentally prepared today, and I think that showed because we went ahead very early. We were mentally prepared because I don't know if there's any club in the PEP who can come against a team like Inter and score so early without having played all day and coming straight out of work. I don't think anyone will be able to do that. just switch on the computer, come and play Inter and score. So we weren't mentally prepared. I just think physically we weren't prepared. We didn't get enough practice in, didn't get our angles. Beforehand you have to get your angles and do a bit of passing and, just feel the computer. We didn't do that enough. But having said that, I've got Lewandowski, I've got Neymar. Inter did really well and kept Neymar pretty quiet in how he defended. He played very conservatively in where he positioned his players, didn't overcommit in anything. So, I think defensively more than anything, he was very good, And it's that game management thing I was talking about. He's good at it,
And you mentioned the players you have. You say anybody let me down. We know that Lewandowski was outstanding.
No one let us down. I feel like everyone played the way they should. Alaba was doing the moves we tell him to do, where he's pulling out to the left. I think you'll see when people watch the game back, that pass out on the left was on, constantly on. That's what we want Alaba to do. My defence were playing really well. I think Varane had a slightly poor game against Lukaku, but Lukaku's a beast, so you got to take it as it comes. But the only person I say probably let us down was Manolas, because he let him back in the game. They did a very poor pass, much like the game I played against them in the league. We scored an own goal from their poor pass. They did a poor pass which they overhit. I knew I was going to intercept it. I knew I was going to muscle Lukaku. I did that, but then I don't know why, I turned back towards my goal. Lukaku got the ball and gave it to Dybala. So Manolas probably had a poor game, but we can't rag on him because he scored for us against Inter to give us the draw. So. No, I think everyone's performance was okay. Just Inter were better. They finished their chances and they defended well.
Fair enough, then we're going to get on and talk to the champion, but what we will say is there's no better way to win a cup than to beat a club of zebra standing who are known for turning up on these big occasions and doing the job. Maybe not on this occasion. What do you attribute this success to? Because this isn't just a cup now. You've won a league without losing a single game. So we've got to put it all in perspective and not just talk about this cup. What do you think is the reason for this success, and how does it feel to be the king?
I believe what was holding us back in previous seasons was just our mentality. We would lose games that we shouldn't have lost, and when there was a high pressure situation, we would kind of fold a bit and go into a shell. So I believe just developing our mentality, we've been in the league for quite a while now, so we've been able to develop that nicely, and we've just been more cutthroat this year. We haven't tried to please everyone, and that's one thing you have to learn in this league. You can't please everyone, and once you get that sorted, you'll have success. So that's the main thing. And just our preparation for games this year has been good. We've accustomed well to the zero pass support. We believe it provides a better football sim, and that's helped us a lot. So yeah, that's all I've got to say.
One thing I will say about the zero pass support, if I may interject into, is that it showed the fucking week in the chat.
Yeah.
Zero pass support. I knew it would. That's why when I came back, one of the caveats for me coming back, we have to be on zero pass support, because I knew there's a few sort of flat track bullies in this league who zero pass support would expose, and it definitely did that. So we haven't won anything this year, but at least we've done that.
Yes, well said, everybody. They can still go on pass support if they go on gamer, but they don't seem to be able to make decisions that benefit their lives. So let's not talk about the lesser entities. We had a final of two elite clubs, and quality final, and Lewandowski showed himself, but in the end, Inter, you've got something, and perhaps you're not getting the credit you deserve. Do you care about that?
I don't care too much about what some of these clubs in the league think. The accolades are there now to speak for our club. we don't have to go and say that we're better than certain teams and have nothing to show for it. You know, we've gone and won the league. We've gone and done it undefeated. I'm not sure how many clubs have done that before. And we've just gone and won the cup. So there's two titles and a potential third on the cards if we do well in the Gold Cup or Champions Cup.
Okay, but that is not on this platform. So the eFA, for everybody listening, is ilovefootball.com. They want to change their actual what do you call it, to ilovefootball.com. So this Champions Cup, which is the elite, of course that will involve Zebra, who just lost this final, City All-Stars, who have qualified for this, being the financially powerful and clever club they are, and of course Alchemy United. Those will be the four involved. But again, it is not a Konami game, it's not PES. This is a Football Manager. Do you have the skills, do you think? Especially, I asked the question about the 29th. Are you ready for this?
Is that a question for me or Zebra?
For you?
Yeah, we're prepared. Well, I wouldn't say too prepared because we haven't really played too much of Football Manager. So we're going to get that in the next couple days and just see what it's about. See how we can, build our team on there and try and prepare from there. But I believe it will be tough. It will be tough. It will really show a different dimension to the eFA, and that's what really is attractive, in my opinion, to the league. It's got different dimensions.
And you think that you're not going to be exposed because I think Alchemy have called you a Konami club.
Nah, we don't think we'll be exposed because the team we've built shows that we're very, up to date with football. The players in our team are performing in real life. It's not like we've just thrown our team together out of Konami stats and figures. We've built this team on footballing merit in real life. So we believe we won't get found out. Once we get accustomed to the game, we think we'll do pretty well.
You haven't got long.
Which is the question. What do you feel about the date, which can be changed? Here's your opportunity to speak on it. The 29th.
Personally, I think maybe we should do it a little bit later. Personally.
What would you suggest for the committee? What sort of date?
Like second week of June.
Okay.
What are you saying, Inter?
Yeah, I don't mind. I think probably with...
The only reason we used to do it in season was to have form, but they're doing it on a different platform now.
Yeah, so. True. Yeah, I don't mind. June, that's probably better, so everyone can, get up to scratch on the game, because I know a few people haven't used it before, myself being one of them.
That's three of the competing teams, so perhaps that's what it will be. We just have to ask CT how they feel about that. So you feel like you're going to do well. You have Alchemy, I believe.
No, he's got CT.
Yeah, you've got CT, correct, sorry. And CT are very experienced on that. But you think you'll get the better of them? Sorry about this. This is about your glory and we're already pressuring you about another
It's fine, it's fine. You've always got to look to the future. I mean, we've won today and our sights are now set on the Champions Cup.
Oh, this is horrible. So you really seem like the first European to compete in this thing. The way that you're carrying on. Why don't you celebrate if you have a dance?
I think...
Who's the buying coach? Who's that buying coach who never smiles? You need to show me a buying coach, man.
What, did he cut the current one?
He's just left.
Hansi Flick.
Yeah, Hansi Flick doesn't even smile. They're like 6-0 up against fucking Barcelona. Listen, well played, Inter, mate. Well played, man.
Yeah, cheers, man. Well played to you too.
Let me have a chat with Inter for a minute, because we haven't actually spoken, have we? Well played, mate. Well played. You got us. I was very disappointed about that first goal because we defended very well.
Yeah.
I got flashbacks of our league game where Ramos scored that own goal, where basically I read everything you did, defended it beautifully, only for my keeper to move out.
Yeah, yeah.
But these things you've got to come back from them. And in the end, you know, we gave you the second goal, which was fully, you know, something we've got to look at. But you did well, man. You did well. You got two cups this year. I'm going to say this to you now because I think you've done really well in the league. You are not winning the league next season. I'm telling you. I'm telling you this now. In competitive spirit, I'm not trying to be rude.
Yeah.
I cannot allow you to do it. I just hope you understand that.
We appreciate that. Obviously.
You've done great season. You've been the best team.
Yeah.
This guy's become soulless.
You're strong. You're showing your strength, man. Well played, mate. Well played.
Cheers. You too.
You well deserved. Well deserved.
Yeah, Bob's gone. This is how come you were just going to say we're disappointed not to have been in the final. But I think it was the two best teams. We're not haters. It's just pairs, and we'll be waiting on a championship manager for everybody.
Listen, it was a quality final, man. It was a quality final. I think Inter was just better. It was just how they used the ball better. We couldn't use the ball, and it's partly down to how they were defending because they weren't engaging us. Like they weren't coming to tackle us. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So because they weren't engaging us, it made us have to think about what we were doing. But then we didn't have our angles right. We couldn't pass. You were giving us too much space on the ball, you know. And I've got people like Neymar and Alaba. I want defenders close to me, and then I'm skipping past you, open up the whole pitch, and now you're in trouble.
Yeah, yeah. That was kind of our tactic was to.
I noticed.
Yeah.
But when we were 1-0 up, I realised, my God, there's just too much in front of me. Like there's nothing in behind. Like it was difficult, man. It was difficult.
Yeah, we set up to as our midfielders, Idrissa Gueye and Milinkovic-Savic, just to cut out passing lanes. So we'd let you have the ball and look to, because I know you want to play forward to Lewandowski. That was your one standout thing. You played to Lewandowski with his back to goal, and he can play off to Neymar or turn and shoot. So we just tried to cut that out with Milinkovic-Savic and Idrissa Gueye while not committing, because we know if Neymar gets past one of those midfielders, it's peak for us because he can just shoot from outside the box or whatever. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've been doing a mazza with Neymar recently, and you kept him reasonably quiet. But the thing is, my tactic today was not to give it to Lewandowski. I knew that's what you're thinking.
Yeah.
Because in the last game, I was doing that, and you weren't liking it, so you changed your tactics. So I thought, okay, today it's about Alaba peeling out to that left, me having the ball on the right, getting everyone over to the right, and then Diag.
Yeah, that switch ball was always on.
Yeah, and then give it back to Neymar. But every time I gave it to Alaba, your defenders are just all backing off. And Alaba's in acres of space, so it's like, you know, I wanted people to be close to Alaba because Alaba will skip past anyone if you're close.
Yeah.
And then Lewandowski came on a free, but you did well. You didn't commit in those areas, which is kind of the opposite of us for your second goal. I think we were just over committed.
Yeah.
And, obviously, Salah got the run. You're not going to catch Salah there. Great game, good game tactically, man. Well played, man.
Cheers.
We'll see, man, because that's PES, what is it, PES 21?
Yeah, man, yeah.
We'll
It's
see.
only going to get better. And my thing is, zero pass support will tell the truth. I personally think a lot of people who sort of like, you know, sacked it off this season would have found out. That's just my personal opinion.
Yeah, no, it's obvious. Because I played the so-called great that left, and it was 0-0, and the game was laggy.
Yeah.
And I wasn't playing with Pad this season. I made a point of playing him to show everybody if I'm crap, this guy will not beat me. Watch. So, you know, they were a myth. They were a myth with great mentality in big games, and a lot of clubs were scared of them, and that helps them.
Well, you know, I mean, there's about 4 or 5 teams that, not even 4 or 5, but there's 3 or 4 that I just think got found out with pass support. You know, I knew Inter wouldn't get found out. All the people who were in the top 4, well, obviously CT, I don't know much about them, but I knew everyone else would be in the top 4. That was pretty much my top 4, other than CT. And I knew a lot of people who've been yapping, and some people have left. I knew things, you know, it wasn't going to end well. So, you know, it's been a good season. It's been a tough season, and the truth has come out. And then Club Haaland will be here next year.
Yeah.
And a lot of teams are going to be embarrassed. They're going to get embarrassed. You know. So, yeah.
So we'll see Zebra in the Champions Cup because we've got you.
Yeah. So Inter, man, how are you going to spend your? How much is it now? £236 so far.
I told my mum and dad about it, and they were saying I should put some of it in my savings account. So
Yeah.
we'll probably spend a portion of it. Not sure on what yet. You know, summer's coming, so
True.
you never know.
I mean, look, I won one year. I won £240 or something, and I just got it all in cedis. I think the pet gave me like 600 cedis or something like that. But you know, it's up to you.
Yeah.
You know, we just thought we'd rather have the cedis, but nowadays I'm thinking I should have taken the money. It's up to you.
Yeah, we're hoping we can get past CT, and then we'll get the 330. You get into the final.
Oh yeah, then you don't need the cedis.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Oh look, mate, it was a really good game, man. I think you played well. I'm not totally gonna like give you all your flowers because I'm a competitor.
Yeah.
I felt like I wasn't fully warmed up. I just come from work and played this game, so you know we felt like we wanted to replay after that because then I felt like now I can play.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But to be fair, like I said, I've got Lewandowski and Neymar, and generally you've got those two. You can't really have any excuses. So well played, man.
Yeah. Cheers. Appreciate it.
You got us. Yeah, I'm going, mate.
Yeah. All right. Well, unless one thing I'd like to say is that a lot of clubs they behave in this eFA as if things are really unfair, as if things are really, as if it's a criminal organisation.
Oh.
But Inter have come and looted the eFA. Literally looted. They've taken so much cash from the eFA. What is it? Well, how much?
Well, at the moment it's at 236, but potentially it could be, well, if you do 346 cedis, it's around £700. So in all, it potentially could be the equivalent of nearly £1,000. But let me say something. About that. Because sorry, you said.
So I just want to say, like, and then they'll be so retarded and say it's because the EFA like Inter and want to give Inter all the money they've worked hard for. Well, no, they're just being smart. Basically, he last year Inter lost money because they weren't liking certain tweets, you know, and then they said to us this year, we will not allow the EFA to catch us out. This is just a smart guy doing things right. It's not that difficult.
So, that's what I want to say. Basically, you know, this year, so Inter have been a club, right, who, there's been clubs this year who talked about bias and all sorts of nonsense. So I need to put it out there. This Tigers team who left, people were saying we were biased against. They were cheaters. They were cheating. They were shown to be cheating, but the clubs who complained didn't want to see it. You know, they actually cheated against me, it was impossible. The club, they didn't want to see it. But anyway, we'll park that. So they're saying bias, right? Inter is a club who's come in, right? Now bear in mind, trust me, I have not been respectful to Inter.
Now they're going to think you let Inter win.
Exactly, you want to ask Inter how I've treated. Listen, the last couple of games I've played against Inter, other than the one we drew before this, I've won them out. I've not shown Inter a modicum of respect. So if you think we're being biased to Inter, you're out of your mind, right? What I'll say is Inter came in with nothing, the same as everybody else. We don't know him, he's not a family. I've never even met the boy. I've never even met him to have bias for him. But he kept quiet, he played his games. What happened to certain clubs this year, where there was lag, and Inter said a replay, that happened to Inter the season before I left. And you know what? Inter was unhappy about it, and he lost the game. He beat someone who said there was lag, the game replayed, and they went and beat Inter. Inter got on with it. He accepted it, he was angry, he got on with it. This season he's won the league. He's won the league because he's dug in, he's done what he's needed to do. Those two who complained are in the position they're in because they're in the position they're in, because of who they are. Do you know what I mean? They are the people, and it's no surprise.
Who they are. The thing is, some of them said, "Oh, impossible! It's a bit." But what they want to ignore is they finished in the same position last year when it was possible. Nothing's changed. So just to reiterate what Zebra said, they are in the position they are because of who they are. It's nothing to do with pairs or possible.
I don't want to single anyone out. I know people get triggered when you talk about this. But the main reason why we did pass support is because I think it's a better game. PES is supposed to be played without pass support. and it's just a better game. There's more animations. It's real football. Playing, yeah, you still have the option if you want to not own your player. You know, you'll read the rules. You can still use pass support. But pass support, as I've always said, a blind monkey with fingers who you can just tell to press X over and over again could possibly win a game with pass support. So there's no skill in it. This is a skill game, right? So that's why we put pass support in, because it's a skill game, not a game of ping pong. Whoever can ping pong the fastest, you get it in the back of the net. That's not what football's like in real life.
You can still use it?
You can still use it if you want to, if that's how you're that way inclined. You know, read the rules. But anyway, Inter, I'm off, mate. Well played, man.
Cool. Have fun at work again. Cheers for everything.
I'm not going to have fun, mate. How am I going to have fun when I've come from North London to South London to play one game, get beat, then have to go back to North London again? I'm not going to have fun.
Yeah, man. James Lewandowski's to get respected.
Oh man.
You send me my money.
Oh yeah. Oh shit. I forgot you got.
Should I end the stream now, Gerald?
It's up to you. Yeah, if you're done, you become soulless, man. But I'll get you. I'll get you. If I got him in the Champions Cup, why do you keep saying you got me? We are finished. Yeah. Okay. If you get to the final. Well done. How does it feel to be champ? You've got no soul, so.
It feels good, man. It feels good. Like, it hasn't set in now because I don't know. It didn't set in with the league until like the day after when I like realised what I'd done. But so probably tomorrow I'll be like a Cheshire cat. But yeah.
Yeah. If I won today, it would have been such a good day. Wilder won his arbitration. You know, it just sweet people in hell. Eddie Hearn's in hell. If I won today, it would have been sweet. But you know, Inter deserve. I'm actually happy for them because they're a good club.
Yeah, I agree. Well done, man.